Here's something that might surprise you and maybe even frustrate you. Many candidates with excellent English still score low in the CELPIP listening tests, not because they don't understand English, but because CLB 12 students use completely different strategies. They don't panic when they miss a word, they don't try to write everything down, and they definitely don't listen passively. They use several smart listening techniques to stay focused and find the correct answers fast, while everyone else is still trying to figure out what just happened. In this video, I'll show you exactly how CLB 12 students think, what they do differently during the listening test, and how you can start using the same approach. You'll discover 10 essential tips that separate low-scoring candidates from high-scoring candidates. If you're tired of missing key information or getting stuck at the same score again and again, keep watching. This might finally change the way you see the CELPIP listening test forever. If you want to achieve the CELPIP score you need, check out our CELPIP packages. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high, so you'll feel confident on test day. Just click on the link in the description. And now, let's get started. Tip number 1 is to familiarize yourself with the test format before test day. The CELPIP listening test evaluates your ability to understand spoken English in everyday Canadian contexts. It consists of 6 parts, each testing different listening skills. You'll hear conversations, discussions, news items, and viewpoints, and you need to answer questions based on what you hear. The recordings play only once, so you need to stay focused and use effective strategies to catch the key information. When you understand the structure and know what to expect in each part, you can prepare strategically. You won't waste time during the test trying to figure out what the question is asking. Instead, you'll recognize the format immediately and focus entirely on listening for the correct information. This confidence makes a huge difference in your performance, especially under time pressure. The second tip is to listen for signposting language. Signposting words and phrases are like road signs in spoken English. They tell you where the conversation is going and help you follow the speaker's train of thought. High-scoring candidates pay close attention to these signals because they indicate important information is coming or that the speaker is transitioning to a new idea. Here are a few examples of signposting language. First of all, on the other hand, however, and most importantly, when you hear these expressions, you should increase your attention because the speaker is usually introducing a key point, contrasting ideas, or providing essential information that could be the answer to a question. For instance, a speaker might say, "There are 3 main benefits to this approach. First of all," here, you know a specific benefit is coming next, and you should listen carefully and possibly make a note. If someone says, "However," you know they're about to present a contrasting viewpoint or exception. Training yourself to recognize and respond to signposting language helps you navigate the listening passages more effectively and catch the information that matters most. Tip number 3 is to focus on keywords and paraphrasing. In the CELPIP listening test, the correct answer is often paraphrased. This means that the recording uses different words to express the same idea that appears in the answer options. For example, an answer option might say, "Reduce expenses." The speaker in the recording might say, "Cut costs" or "Lower spending." Both phrases mean the same thing, but they use different vocabulary. This is why simply listening for exact words from the answer options won't always work. You need to train yourself to recognize synonyms and paraphrased expressions. When you practice listening, pay attention to how the same idea can be expressed in multiple ways. This skill is crucial for achieving CLB 9 and above because it shows the examiners that you understand meaning, not just individual words. By the way, if you want this channel to keep going, write yes in the comments, click like and subscribe. We only make videos that you actually want to watch. Tip number 4 is to stay focused throughout the entire recording. The CELPIP listening recordings play only once, so you don't get a second chance to hear the information. This means you must maintain concentration from the beginning to the end of each recording. If you lose focus for even a few seconds, you might miss the answer to an important question. One effective way to maintain focus is to take meaningful notes as you listen. The physical act of writing down key information keeps your brain actively engaged with the content and prevents your mind from wandering. When you're noting down important details like reasons or main points, you're processing the information more deeply. This helps you stay alert and attentive throughout the recording. Your notes also serve as quick references when you need to answer questions immediately after the audio ends. Additionally, avoid getting stuck on one question. If you miss an answer, move on immediately and focus on the next question. Dwelling on what you missed only causes you to lose focus and miss even more answers. Speaking of notes, it's extremely important to practice note-taking strategically. Effective note-taking requires practice and strategy. You can't write down everything you hear because the recording moves too quickly. Instead, you need to note key information such as reasons, solutions, and main ideas. Use abbreviations and symbols to save time. For example, write GOVT instead of government, or use an arrow to show cause and effect. Write only essential words, not complete sentences. If a speaker mentions 3 reasons for something, jot down a few words for each reason. Your notes should serve as memory triggers, not detailed transcripts. With regular practice, note-taking becomes automatic and you'll capture the right information without losing focus on the recording. Next, pay attention to the speaker's tone and emphasis. In spoken English, how something is said is often just as important as what is said. Speakers use tone, stress, and intonation to convey meaning, emotion, and attitude. For example, if a speaker emphasizes a particular word, that word is likely important and may contain the answer to a question. If a speaker sounds frustrated or disappointed, their tone gives you clues about their opinion or feelings. In the CELPIP listening test, especially in parts 3, 5, and 6, you often need to make inferences or identify opinions. The speaker's tone can help you do this. For instance, someone might say, "Well, I suppose that could work," in a hesitant tone. They're expressing doubt, not strong agreement. Learning to pick up on these subtle cues can improve your ability to answer inference questions correctly. Further, this demonstrates advanced listening skills that examiners look for at CLB 10 and 12 levels. Tip number 7 is to anticipate what comes next. High-scoring candidates don't just passively receive information. They actively predict what the speaker will say next based on context and logic. For example, a speaker might say, "There are 2 main reasons why this approach is effective." If you hear this sentence, you should immediately expect the speaker to explain the first reason, then the second reason. If someone says, "On the one hand," you know "on the other hand" is likely coming soon. When you anticipate structure and content, you're less likely to be surprised or confused, and you can focus more effectively on listening for specific details. This listening approach is essential for scoring highly. Tip number 8 is to eliminate obviously incorrect answers quickly. The CELPIP listening test uses multiple choice questions, and often you can eliminate 1 or 2 answer options immediately because they're clearly wrong or irrelevant to what you heard. This strategy increases your chances of selecting the correct answer. Even if you're not entirely certain, it's practical and effective, especially when you're under time pressure and need to make quick decisions. Here's another crucial point. Manage your time wisely during the test. Each part of the CELPIP listening test has a specific time limit, and the test moves quickly from one section to the next. You need to answer questions efficiently, without spending too much time on any single question. If you're unsure about an answer, make your best guess and move on. Don't leave questions blank, because there's no penalty for guessing, and a guess gives you a chance to earn points. Time management is a skill that improves with practice, so during your preparation, simulate test conditions and practice completing each part within the time limits. This training can help you build the speed and confidence you need on test day. Finally, tip number 10 is to expose yourself to various Canadian English accents and speaking styles. The CELPIP test reflects real-life Canadian communication, which means you'll hear different accents, speech speeds, and speaking styles. Some speakers may talk quickly, while others speak more slowly. Some may have regional accents or use colloquial expressions. To prepare effectively, you need to practice listening to diverse English audio that mirrors what you'll encounter on the test. Listen to Canadian podcasts, watch Canadian news programs, and engage with anything else that interests you. Notice the rhythm, intonation, and pronunciation patterns. The more exposure you have to authentic Canadian English, the more comfortable you'll feel during the actual test. That's it! These are 10 tips you must know to score highly on CELPIP listening. If you're serious about achieving the CELPIP score you need, check out our CELPIP packages using the link below. We'll guide you step by step on how to score high, so you'll feel confident on test day. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their CELPIP score too. See you in the next video!